What's up, you guys? I have a pretty important message. Hopefully this will post. I've been having a hard time with some of my videos posting, so I've putting them in a queue. Like yesterday I posted 2 videos. Hopefully this is accurate. But yesterday I posted 2 videos with regards to anointed children being implanted into different households, families, and things like that. Anyways, I have more of a message with regards to that and with regards to false light timelines that I also need to, that Spirit is calling me to share some information about. You guys also remember that all of my readings are, well, this is going to be a channel. I'm probably going to pull some cards, but it's just take what resonates. If it resonates with your soul, it resonates with your soul. If you find something out of it that helps you in some way, that's really what this is all for, okay? I'm not telling you to believe in anything, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a cult. You can walk away at any moment if you want to, and you can just think that it's, you know, it's cool and whatever. And a lot of this stuff also happens on the astral plane. So, okay, without further, in the words of Snoop Dogg, without further to do, instead of without further ado, without further to do, let's get into this. Okay, so I'm finding or hearing that a lot of people are having a hard time shifting away from their karmic families in love. So the video that I did is basically that there are anointed light children who are being implanted in different karmic families, we'll say, right? Like in karmic situations to help essentially what I'm saying now and what I'm hearing now is that there are families with generational curses who are stuck in false light narratives trying to lift each other out. And anointed children, star seeds, they call them crystal children, whatever. Some of us are adults now, so we are the adult star seeds too. Like, we've already gone through this. So, but as we continue to lift people out of these false light narratives, living in their authentic truth, ascending to the light of highest consciousness, by working through the shadow and releasing that darkness, integrating rather, we're helping to raise the frequency out of certain types of, we'll say, like, bad habits. I don't know what else to use, but there's a paradox shift. That's not what I meant to say, but it's a paradigm shift. Okay, we've all heard about this, right? I also said something about surviving the attacks. That's really all that you have to focus on in this life, and that's what spiritualists, a lot of people, I don't just take what resonates, you guys, but what I'm hearing is that a lot of spiritualists don't understand that this is actually what they are preaching. It's surviving the karmic attacks in order to help raise frequency. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna kind of try to read the notes that I have here, which are, if you automatic write, you get it, right? Okay, so this is some false light clarification. Okay, so just some information. It's Okay, this is an important message. Okay, social conditioning and not listening to one's inner knowing is what puts us in risk of being entangled in a false light narrative, aka a karmic cycle. 333 on the clock when I said that, aka a karmic cycle, which is an environment that is wired with gang stalking, right? Aka being in the matrix, right? But what I also am hearing after I wrote this down, and what I was also understanding is that these false light narratives are not actually generally started by the people that are in the families that you were born into, if that makes any sense. It's usually somebody, I'm hearing specifically somebody within the family who maybe accidentally created a sort of entanglement, and then, oh God, these get so fucking deep. I write down some shit, I say some shit, and then so many more messages come through. Sorry, you guys, I swear, as you guys know. Okay, so anyways, but what I'm understanding is that a lot of times, these false light, the important thing here is making a shift in consciousness and understanding that you, and looking at things from a higher place of existence, right? From your higher mind, and that's what I'm trying to do here, I guess. Just try to help us all to understand that, okay? And to get that perspective shift, okay? Bear with me, all right? So these false light narratives, as shitty as they are, I'm sorry, my personal opinion, force us to also heal, force families collectively, we're all collectively healing, forces families to collectively heal generational curses. Okay, it's almost like these false light and we don't. I'm not saying false light narratives are good. No. But what I'm also seeing now and understanding is, because we're trying to dismantle all of the false light narratives, right? And if you don't know what a false light narrative, essentially it is it's somebody siphoning a divine one's energy to create more energy over here, if that makes any sense. Because the only light energy that we really get is from source, right? But then there are, others who don't want to, do the work, don't want to connect to God for whatever reason. They don't want to align with their authenticity. They can't get their own light. They can't align with their path. They can't get in the vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say, right? And they siphon other people's energy, and they make these other false light narratives, which are false light timelines, which then, if a divine one has a soul tie or a soul contract with somebody who is pulled into that, then that's kind of how they get in there, and then more come in and dig us all out, right? Okay, all right, I hope that this is making sense. I feel like it will for most of you, and I'm going to continue with some of the notes. Okay, so these were some other random notes. I hope that I'm not going to confuse anyone anymore, or anyone, including myself. Okay, so how to get into these false light narratives generally is letting others make decisions for you. That's why it's very important to have strong boundaries. This is also letting people make decisions for you by having conditioned you to think a certain way by growing up, when you were growing up, in those early years of development and brain, right? Brain development. So this is why we do shadow work, and we reprogram ourselves out of the matrix, right? Out of the false light narrative, okay? Making decisions unknowingly or unknowingly for other people takes one away from their authentic path, authentic frequency, the divine path, and thus also a divine counterpart. So this is why we're also finding that there are a lot of people who have divine counterparts who are like caught in false light narratives and false light, and that's why we have these divine counterparts who are like, I'm going to use the twin flame journey just as, we'll say, as an analogy, but it's like, that's why you're finding that there are sometimes twin flames who are not ready to come together because they are kind of like caught in these false light timelines, so to speak, which is making it difficult for them to shift their frequency, shift their understanding, right? Unless if they shift something in themselves. That's really what it boils down to. They can shift their environment, or they can shift something within themselves, and that's usually a decision that they have to make, right? After two come into union, there's a few different decisions. You can decide to go on a solo journey of self-enlightenment, you know what I mean? You can decide to continue to stay in that false light with the karmics who are going to be mirroring, karmic, your shadow, so that you can see your shadow that way, or you can, choose to be in a divine partnership and continue to carry that light collectively like that. Because what I'm hearing also, and what I have here also, is that the universe doesn't recognize that sometimes the universe doesn't recognize that the two are in alignment. This is also why there are people who are incarnating who have spiritual authority to fix glitches in the matrix, so to speak, like prayer warriors and things like that, okay? So I feel like those are all of the notes, but this is what we're doing here right now. Like, this is what we're fucking doing right now, okay? And everybody's doing their own part to help lift people out of certain, frequencies, to help them raise their frequency, to create new frequencies, new bloodlines, new timelines, in order to raise frequency collectively. So there's a lot of like micro managing, a lot of macro managing, a lot of like stuff like that that's going on. I'm gonna see if any cards want to come out. Nina kind of looked at me. Yeah, it's a generational curse of like a lack mentality. Generally that's the generational curse, the lack mentality, and that's usually the switch that needs to happen. There needs to be like it's almost, and the other thing that I was hearing too is that a lot of these karmics are then being conditioned by the false light narratives to breadcrumb the divine ones that are actually in the family to help them ascend out of this. It's like, I don't know, yeah. A very important message, though, is that, I think I said this also in my reading that I did yesterday, is that if you can hold space away from somebody, and that's the only way that you can, if you can hold space away from somebody in a healthier way, then sometimes that's just the way that you have to do it. But divine justice is being called on a global scale, and there's a huge shift in consciousness that's happening, and yeah, because we're looking for more reciprocity and cooperation in the world. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like leave it there. I hope that this helps you guys. Oh, also, if you ordered something from my Etsy shop and it was late, I'm so sorry. There was something going on with my Etsy. It was difficult for me to be able to sign in, and also there was like an ice storm here. So, anyways, those are gonna go out today. So, sending you guys so much love. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope that this helps. All right, love you guys. 11:11. All right, bye.